Laguna Woods City Council candidate James Tung joins us to talk about the city and his campaign. James, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone.
I appreciate you being here with us today.
Oh, I appreciate it. I've been invited to talk.
Wonderful. Well, why don't we start by you telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I have a PhD degree in geophysics from the University of Southern California. I'm a Trojan horse.
Okay, go USC.
Yeah. Well, because of that background, I'm always concerned California's earthquake. I'll talk about it a little bit later. Then I moved to the village 12 years ago, and in the year 2012.
Okay, so it's been,
And
you've got your roots. You've got your roots here.
Yes. And 2 years later, 2014, I was elected as one of the third mutual director.
Okay.
Now, this is part of my past contribution, because the first thing I noticed, our water bill is too high. By that, I mean penalized water bill.
Really?
I don't know, a lot of people are aware of Alor Water District give us the 4 tiers of water charging rate. And let me quick say, tier 1 is our drinking water. That's the most cheapest one. Mm-hmm. Then tier 2 is the water we use to watering our landscape. And tier 3 and 4 are both penalized, because in each house we only allow to use a certain amount of tier 1 water.
Right.
If you exceed that allowable amount, then you jump to tier 3. The charging rate of tier 3 is 1.5 times than the tier 1.
Wow.
But again, the tier 3 is not unlimited. If you keep using more water than allowable tier 3, then you will jump to tier 4. The tier 4 charging rate is 3 times as tier 1.
That's where the penalty kicks in.
That's why they call it penalized. So when I first became director, I noticed why we got so high penalized water. So, and then at the time, our president, Jim Madsen, and we know in our gate 11, each house has a water meter, but the rest of our community, like 3, 4, 5 houses share one water meter. So the quickest way we find out is we go visit the people in gate 11. We'll ask them, because we know which house the water meter has to penalize the water bills. Mm-hmm. So, and then to a surprise, was it, did you people using too much water to water your lawn or flowers? And they say, no, we never really spent, using too much water. So we realized there's something else.
Shared meter.
And fortunately, also Alor Water at the time, they issued the so-called blue tab. So you drop those blue tab into your into a toilet tank.
Sure.
Without flashing, if the blue water come out to your toilet, that means your toilet is leaking.
Oh no. Okay.
So by that, we found a lot of old leaking toilet.
Okay.
Of course, we asked them to replace it. And also, a couple of times nights, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, well, since I'm awake, since I hope not too many people using water, so I can go to those water meter checking whether the dial moves. And of course, later I learned if there's something is leaking, the dial, the fine dial will go very slowly, steadily.
Right.
So by doing that, we find a lot of underground leaking, toilet leaking. By replacing that, we were able to save $600,000
oh my
a year of 2014.
Yes.
That's my past contribution.
Wow, well, thank goodness you found that. So has those series of experiences led you to where you are today, and that's running for office? Or
yes.
Tell us why.
Well, because I find that, been here 12 years, I really don't know much about our city. So about 6 months ago, I started go to those council's monthly meeting. And then I began to learn. Well, we have a city council, and then we have our Laguna Woods Village. We have several homeowner association, Third Mutual, United, Tower.
Yes.
And I found there's not much interaction between the city and those homeowner association. None of those homeowner association director go to the council meeting. So right? Even they're a part of the same sort of government governing us, but they don't talk to each other. So that's my first point. I want to improve the communication so that people, well, do you see much of a news on the globe? No. In fact, I don't want to complain too much about Channel 6, but you don't talk too much about what's going on in the city either. So those are the things I hope we can improve in the near future. To me, I feel city council, that's sort of like a government office, sort of like in Washington, D.C. And then homeowner association directors, they're sort of like a state senator. They got to interact with each other, so people to bring up what's going on, and so they can do better for the people.
Well, it sounds like you are really passionate about building that relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how else, because that would be a huge way for Laguna Woods Village to benefit from your successful election. How else?
Okay, there's the two more points. Late last year, the city started a program called the Senior Mobility Program. I don't know whether you heard that or not, but basically this is for those people in the village, our residents that cannot drive or don't want to drive,
right,
have a difficult to drive. So if they call a taxi, Lyft, within Orange County, only $5. I talked to many of my friends and other people. They say this is really beneficial for us, older people. And so I see that's the first one that I become aware of. So I said, okay, if I get elected, we'll definitely fight, because that takes money. We'll have to fight to keep that program and possibly expand. For example, if people want to take an LAX, that's exceeded the Orange County.
Right.
So hopefully within our limited budget, we can help a little bit more.
Okay.
And maybe other things.
Well, I know that would be very much appreciated to the residents here.
Yeah.
Any quick last final thoughts before we let you go?
Yeah, well, in fact, I have the third point I want to quick, because I'm a geophysicist, and I always watching California's earthquake country. Now, well, 2 months ago, Alor Water District General Manager gave a city council monthly meeting a presentation. What he said, our water source, drinking water source, is 100% from outside our area.
Yes.
So therefore, we have to purchase it. Therefore, more expensive. So please, his point is save water.
Laguna Woods City Council candidate James Tung, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You are watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be right back after these messages.